Welcome back to Rare Lincoln Penny Coins. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in American history, the legendary Lincoln penny. Not just any Lincoln penny, but the rare versions that have shocked collectors, broken auction records, and made ordinary people thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And yes, we are also talking about the fascinating story of the 1976 Lincoln penny and its true current market value. Imagine reaching into your pocket and pulling out a simple penny. A coin most people ignore. A coin people leave on the ground. Now imagine that same penny being worth hundreds, thousands, or in rare cases, close to unbelievable numbers like $787,976.49. It sounds impossible. But in the world of rare coins, it is very real. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. That alone made it historic. Over the decades, the design evolved. From the famous wheat reverse to the Lincoln Memorial and later the shield design, each era produced coins that today are studied, hunted, and valued by collectors worldwide. Now let's talk about rarity. What makes a Lincoln penny rare? There are several factors. Minting errors. Low mintage numbers. Special metal compositions. Condition and grading. And sometimes historical significance. When all these factors combine, the result can be extraordinary. One of the most valuable Lincoln pennies ever discovered was the 1943 copper penny. During World War II, pennies were supposed to be made of steel coated in zinc to save copper for the war effort. But a few copper blanks were accidentally used. Today, those rare 1943 copper pennies have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Some have crossed the $1 million mark in private sales. That is the power of a rare mistake. Another famous example is the 1909 SVDB Lincoln wheat penny. Only a small number were minted with the designer's initials VDB on the reverse. Because of public controversy, the initials were quickly removed, making the original version extremely collectible. High-grade examples sell for thousands and sometimes tens of thousands of dollars. Now let's focus on the 1976 Lincoln penny. Many people assume that because 1976 was America's bicentennial year, all coins from that year must be extremely valuable. While it is true that special bicentennial designs were made for quarters, half dollars, and dollar coins, the Lincoln penny did not receive a special bicentennial reverse design. It continued with the Lincoln Memorial design. So is a 1976 Lincoln penny worth a fortune? In most cases, no. The majority of 1976 pennies are very common. Millions and millions were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. In circulated condition, they are usually worth only face value, which is 1 cent. However, and this is important, there are exceptions. A 1976 penny in uncirculated condition, especially graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading companies, can be worth significantly more. Red uncirculated examples with strong luster and no marks can sell for $10, $25, or even more depending on the grade. The real excitement comes from error coins. A 1976 Lincoln penny with a double die error, off-center strike, clipped planchet, or wrong planchet error can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Collectors pay big money for dramatic minting mistakes. For example, a high-grade 1976 double die obverse penny can sell for several $100s. A major off-center strike in mint state could bring strong auction interest. And if a truly unique error were discovered, the price could climb dramatically depending on demand. Now let's address the big number that gets attention, $787,976.49. Has a 1976 Lincoln penny ever sold for that exact amount? There is no widely confirmed public auction record of a standard 1976 penny reaching that price. But in the coin market, rare error coins and ultra-high-grade coins sometimes sell privately, and numbers can be exaggerated online. It is very important to verify claims through trusted auction houses and certified grading services. The coin market today is strong and global. Collectors from around the world participate in auctions. Online platforms have made it easier than ever to buy and sell coins. Prices depend on supply and demand, rarity, grading, eye appeal, and authenticity. If you think you have a valuable 1976 Lincoln penny, here is what you should do. First, check the mint mark under the date. No mint mark means Philadelphia. A small d means Denver. An S means San Francisco. Next, examine the coin carefully under magnification. Look for doubling in the letters and numbers. Look for unusual metal color. Look for off-center designs. Weigh the coin. A standard copper penny from that era should weigh about 3.11 grams. Any major difference could signal an error. Condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state 70. The higher the grade, the higher the value. A coin that looks brand new, with original red color and no scratches, is always more valuable than one that is worn and dark. Another important factor is professional grading. Companies like PCGS and NGC authenticate and grade coins. A certified coin often sells for more because buyers trust the grade and authenticity. Let's talk about history again. The Lincoln penny has survived economic depressions, world wars, inflation, and changing metal compositions. In 1982, the U.S. Mint changed the penny's composition from mostly copper to mostly zinc with a thin copper coating. That means pre-1982 pennies, including 1976, are mostly copper and sometimes worth more than face value just for their metal content, depending on copper prices. But remember, melting U.S. pennies for copper is illegal. So their value must remain in collectible form, not metal scrap. The dream of finding a rare penny keeps collectors searching through rolls of coins from banks. This hobby is called coin roll hunting. People buy rolls of pennies, search for key dates, errors, and high-grade examples, then return the rest to the bank. Some have found valuable coins this way. The emotional side of coin collecting is powerful. A small coin can connect you to history. It passed through hands decades ago. It may have been in someone's pocket during important historical events. That connection adds meaning beyond money. In today's market, truly rare Lincoln pennies in top condition can sell for thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. But common dates like 1976 are usually affordable unless they have special characteristics. Always research carefully. Always verify big price claims. And never rush into buying a coin just because someone says it is rare. At Coins, we believe knowledge is power. The more you learn, the better your chances of spotting hidden value. Check your change. Look at old jars of pennies. Ask your family about old coin collections stored away for years. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. The story of the Lincoln penny is not just about money. It is about history, design, mistakes, and the thrill of discovery. From the famous wheat pennies to modern varieties, each coin has a story. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare Lincoln pennies and the truth about the 1976 penny's current market value, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Coins, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Because the next coin we talk about could be sitting in your pocket right now. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in American history, the rare Lincoln penny, especially the famous 1982 Lincoln cent that collectors are searching for right now. This is not just an ordinary 1-cent coin. This small copper-colored piece of history has created massive excitement in the coin collecting world, and many people believe it could be worth a life-changing amount of money. But what is the real story? What is the history behind it? And what is the true current market value today? Stay with me because this story might completely change the way you look at the pennies in your pocket. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person instead of symbolic imagery. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse shows the powerful profile of Lincoln, and for decades the reverse featured 2 wheat stalks, which is why early versions are called wheat pennies. Over time the design changed, but the Lincoln cent remained one of the most collected coins in the United States. Now let's move forward to 1982, one of the most important transition years in Lincoln penny history. This year was unique because the United States Mint changed the composition of the penny. Before 1982, pennies were made mostly of copper. Due to rising copper prices, the mint switched to a zinc core with a thin copper plating. That means in 1982, both copper and zinc pennies were produced. And here is where things get interesting, that in 1982 there were actually 7 different varieties of Lincoln cents produced. Large date, small date, copper, zinc, Philadelphia mint, Denver mint, and San Francisco proof coins. Among all of these, one specific coin stands out as extremely rare and highly valuable. The 1982 D small date copper penny, the Denver mint, marked its coins with a D mint mark. Most 1982 D pennies were made of zinc, not copper. However, a very small number of 1982 D pennies were mistakenly struck using the older copper planchets. This was never supposed to happen. According to official mint records, the Denver Mint did not produce copper small date pennies in 1982. But a few examples have been discovered and verified, proving that mint errors and transitional mistakes can create incredible rarity. This is why collectors are so excited. When a coin officially should not exist, but a few confirmed examples are found, the value can skyrocket. These coins are known as transitional errors, and they are some of the most desirable coins in numismatics. Now let's talk about the big number that has been circulating online. You may have seen claims that a rare 1982 D Lincoln penny is worth $787,976.48. That is an extremely specific and dramatic number, and it has created viral attention. However, it is very important to understand the reality of the market. As of current verified auction records, number 1982 D small date copper penny has sold anywhere near that figure. The highest confirmed sales for authenticated examples have reached tens of thousands of dollars depending on condition, grading, and certification, but not hundreds of thousands. For example, certified high-grade examples have sold in the range of $15,000 to $25,000 at major auctions. Lower-grade examples still command significant prices, sometimes above $10,000, because of their rarity. But claims of nearly $800,000 are not supported by official auction data. So why do such high numbers spread online? Because rare coins capture imagination. People love the idea that a simple penny could change their life overnight. And sometimes coins really do sell for extraordinary prices, especially unique errors or one-of-a-kind discoveries. But serious collectors always rely on verified grading companies like PCGS or NGC and official auction records before believing extreme valuations. If you think you may have a 1982 D copper penny, here is what you need to check. First, look at the mint mark under the date. It must have a D for Denver. Second, examine the date style. The small date has a different shape compared to the large date. In the small date, the 2 has a more delicate curve and the numbers appear more evenly aligned. Third and most important, weigh the coin. A copper penny from 1982 should weigh about 3.1 grams. A zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams. This small difference is critical. A digital jewelry scale can help you check this at home. If your coin weighs 3.1 grams and has the small date with a D mint mark, do not clean it. Never polish or alter a potentially valuable coin. Cleaning can destroy its value instantly. Instead, send it to a professional grading service for authentication. Now let's discuss current market conditions. The rare coin market changes depending on demand, collector interest, economic conditions, and auction visibility. High-grade coins in certified holders consistently attract strong bids. Error coins and transitional varieties remain very popular among advanced collectors. The 1982 D small date copper penny continues to be considered one of the key modern rarities in the Lincoln cent series. Even regular 1982 pennies can have small collector value depending on condition. Uncirculated rolls, high-grade specimens, and dramatic errors like off-center strikes or double dies can sell for premium prices. But most circulated 1982 pennies are worth only face value unless they are one of the rare varieties. The Lincoln penny series overall has produced some legendary rarities. The 1909 SVDB penny, the 1914 D, the 1922 No D, and the famous 1955 double die are all highly sought after. But what makes the 1982 D copper small date special is that it is a modern coin. It shows that even recent pocket change can hide incredible surprises. This is why searching through rolls of pennies, checking coin jars, and examining old collections can be so exciting. Many collectors started their journey by finding something unusual in everyday change. The thrill of discovery is one of the most powerful parts of coin collecting. Imagine finding a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars sitting quietly in a forgotten jar. That possibility keeps collectors searching. And while the $787,976.48 figure may not be realistic based on verified sales, the real value of a confirmed 1982 D small date copper penny is still impressive enough to change someone's financial situation significantly. The history of the Lincoln penny reflects American economic changes, metal shortages, and mint technology transitions. The 1982 composition switch marked the end of the traditional bronze cent era. After that, pennies became primarily zinc. This makes copper transitional eras historically meaningful because they represent the final moments of an era. Collectors today value not only the monetary worth but also the story behind the coin. A transitional error tells a story of machinery, leftover planchets, and a moment inside the mint when something unexpected happened. That human element adds depth and mystery. If you are serious about searching for rare Lincoln pennies, study the details carefully. Learn the difference between large date and small date. Understand mint marks. Use a scale. Use magnification. And most importantly, educate yourself continuously. Knowledge is the real treasure in coin collecting. The coin market rewards patience. Many collectors build wealth slowly over years by understanding rarity, condition, and demand. While viral headlines may promise million-dollar pennies, the true power lies in verified information and careful research. The rare Lincoln penny continues to capture attention worldwide. Whether you are a beginner checking your pocket change or an advanced collector investing in certified rarities, the 1982 D small date copper cent remains one of the most fascinating modern coins ever produced. So before you spend your next penny, take a closer look. That small coin might carry more history than you imagine. It might not be worth $787,976.48, but if it is the right variety in the right condition, it could still be worth far more than 1 cent. This is why we love coins. Every piece tells a story. Every mint mark matters. Every gram counts. And sometimes, hidden in the smallest denomination, lies the biggest surprise. Thank you for watching Coins. Keep searching, keep learning, and always check your change. You never know what treasure could be waiting in your pocket. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in American history, a coin that has sparked debates, treasure hunts, and unbelievable headlines. We are talking about the rare Lincoln penny, especially the mysterious and highly searched 1983 D Lincoln cent. Stay with me because what you are about to hear might completely change the way you look at the pennies in your pocket. The Lincoln penny is one of the most collected coins in the United States. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Before that, coins mostly showed symbolic images like Lady Liberty. The designer, Victor David Brenner, created the famous portrait of Lincoln that we still see today. Over the decades, this simple 1-cent coin has gone through multiple changes in metal composition, design variations, mint marks, and rare error strikes that have turned ordinary pennies into extraordinary treasures. Now let us focus on why some Lincoln pennies are worth a lot of money. Most pennies you find are only worth 1 cent. But certain years, mint marks, and especially mint errors can push their value into thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Collectors are always searching for coins with low mintage, rare metal compositions, double dies, off-center strikes, and transitional errors. These special characteristics create demand, and demand creates value. The year 1983 is one of the most interesting years in Lincoln penny history. In 1982, the United States Mint changed the composition of the penny. Before 1982, pennies were made mostly of copper. Starting in mid-1982 and continuing into 1983, pennies were made from a zinc core coated with a thin layer of copper. This change was made because the cost of copper had increased so much that it cost more than 1 cent to produce a penny. So 1983 pennies are supposed to be zinc-based, not solid copper. Here is where things get exciting. There have been rare cases where 1983 pennies were mistakenly struck on copper planchets left over from 1982. These are known as transitional error coins. A genuine 1983 copper penny is extremely rare because officially, they were not supposed to exist. If you ever find a 1983 penny that weighs about 3.11 grams instead of the standard 2.5 grams for zinc, you might be holding something very special. Now let us talk specifically about the 1983 D Lincoln penny. The D Mint mark means it was struck at the Denver Mint. Most 1983 D pennies are common and worth only face value in circulated condition. However, certain error versions of the 1983 D penny have sold for impressive amounts. One of the most famous varieties is the 1983 double die reverse. On this error coin, the lettering on the back, especially the words 1 cent and United States of America, appears clearly doubled. This doubling is not damage. It is a minting error caused during the die creation process. Collectors have paid thousands of dollars for high-grade examples of the 1983 double die reverse penny. In top condition, certified by major grading companies, some have sold for over $10,000. The better the condition, the higher the price. Coins graded MS65, MS66, or higher can bring strong premiums at auction. Now, you might have seen dramatic numbers online such as $787,976.47 connected to rare Lincoln pennies. While it is true that some extremely rare Lincoln cents from earlier years, like the 1943 copper penny or the 1909 SVDB, have sold for hundreds of thousands or even over $1 million, not every 1983 D penny is worth that kind of money. The value depends entirely on authenticity, rarity, condition, and demand. If a unique error or previously unknown variety were discovered in pristine condition, it could potentially reach very high auction results. But such cases are exceptionally rare. The key to understanding current market value is grading and authentication. Professional grading services examine the coin's authenticity, surface quality, luster, strike, and preservation. Even a small scratch or sign of wear can dramatically lower value. A common 1983 D penny in circulated condition is worth 1 cent. An uncirculated example might be worth a few cents to a few dollars. But a verified double die or transitional error can be worth thousands. Let us also talk about the power of condition. Coin collectors use a grading scale from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS70 is considered perfect under magnification. The difference between MS63 and MS67 can mean thousands of dollars in value. That is why collectors search bank rolls, coin jars, and pocket change looking for the highest quality examples. Another important factor is market demand. Coin values change over time. When more collectors become interested in a certain variety, prices rise. When interest slows, prices can stabilize. Auction records show real market activity, and these records help determine current market value. The rarest Lincoln pennies with dramatic mint errors or unique compositions consistently attract strong bidding. The story of the Lincoln penny is also a story of American history. Through wars, economic changes, and technological advances, this small coin has remained in circulation for more than a century. From the wheat reverse design used from 1909 to 1958, to the Lincoln Memorial reverse from 1959 to 2008, and now the Union Shield design introduced in 2010, each version reflects a different era. If you are serious about searching for a rare 1983 D penny, here is what you should do. First, check the weight. A small digital scale can tell you if the coin weighs around 2.5 grams or closer to 3.11 grams. Second, examine the reverse lettering carefully under magnification to look for strong doubling. Third, never clean the coin. Cleaning can destroy collector value instantly. Finally, if you believe you have found something special, send it to a reputable grading service for professional evaluation. Many people underestimate pennies. They ignore them, toss them into jars, or leave them behind in drawers. But history has shown that hidden treasures can sometimes be found in the most ordinary places. Stories of rare pennies discovered in pocket change continue to inspire collectors around the world. On this channel Coins, we explore these hidden possibilities. We uncover the facts, the history, and the real market values behind the headlines. Remember, knowledge is your most powerful tool in coin collecting. The more you learn about mint marks, errors, composition changes, and grading standards, the better your chances of recognizing something valuable. The 1983 Lincoln penny may not always be worth a fortune, but specific rare varieties can be worth a lot of money. The excitement comes from the hunt, the research, and the possibility that a simple 1-cent coin could turn into a life-changing discovery. So next time you receive change, do not ignore those pennies. Look closely. Weigh them. Study them. Because in the world of rare coins, one small detail can mean the difference between 1 cent and thousands of dollars. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the rare Lincoln penny and the 1983 current market value and history, make sure to like this video, subscribe to Coins, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. There are still many rare coins waiting to be discovered, and your next big find could be closer than you think. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about and mysterious coins in American history, the rare Lincoln penny. This small copper coin that many people ignore every single day could actually be worth an unbelievable amount of money. Some reports and listings have claimed values reaching $787,976.46 for certain rare examples. Yes, you heard that right. A simple penny potentially worth more than a luxury house. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first United States coin to feature a real historical figure. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin immediately became popular with the public. On the front you see the strong profile of Abraham Lincoln. On the back, in earlier versions, you saw 2 wheat stalks, which is why collectors call them wheat pennies. Later designs changed to the Lincoln Memorial and then to the Union Shield. Over the decades, billions of Lincoln pennies have been produced. Most of them are worth only 1 cent. But hidden among those billions are rare varieties, mint errors, and special date combinations that can be worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. The key is knowing exactly what to look for. One of the most fascinating years in Lincoln penny history is 1983. At first glance, a 1983 penny may look completely ordinary. But this year was part of a major transition period in United States coin production. In 1982, the U.S. Mint changed the composition of the penny from mostly copper to zinc with a thin copper plating. That means pennies made before 1982 were primarily copper, while pennies made after the switch were lighter and made mostly of zinc. In 1983, almost all pennies were struck on zinc planchets. However, there have been extremely rare reports and discoveries of 1983 pennies mistakenly struck on leftover copper planchets from the previous year. These transitional error coins are incredibly rare. If authenticated, such a coin could be worth a massive amount of money because it represents a mint mistake during a composition change. Collectors search for these coins by weighing them. A copper penny weighs about 3.11 grams, while a zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams. If you ever find a 1983 penny that weighs around 3.11 grams, you might be holding something extremely valuable. But authentication by a professional grading service is absolutely necessary because counterfeits do exist. Another valuable variety from 1983 is the 1983 double die reverse penny. On this coin, the doubling appears clearly on the reverse side, especially in the words 1 cent and e pluribus unum. This is not simple machine doubling. It is a true double die error created during the die making process. Strong examples in high grade have sold for thousands of dollars. The better the condition, the higher the value. Condition plays a massive role in determining the value of any Lincoln penny. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state 70. A coin in circulation for decades may only be worth face value, but a coin preserved in near-perfect condition can multiply its value dramatically. A rare variety in mint state condition can reach astonishing prices at auction. When people hear about a penny selling for hundreds of thousands of dollars, like figures around $787,976.46, they are usually referring to extremely rare error coins or historically significant varieties in exceptional condition. For example, famous Lincoln penny rarities such as the 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double-die penny have reached record-breaking auction prices. These coins are legendary among collectors. The 1943 copper penny is especially famous. During World War II, pennies were made from steel coated with zinc to save copper for the war effort. However, a few copper planchets were accidentally used in 1943. These coins are incredibly rare and have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is why collectors always check their 1943 pennies carefully. The excitement around rare pennies continues today because coins are still being discovered in circulation, old jars, piggy banks, and inherited collections. Many people do not realize that valuable coins can hide in everyday change. That is why searching through pennies has become a popular hobby. The current market for rare Lincoln pennies is strong. Coin collecting remains one of the most popular hobbies in the world. Auction houses regularly feature rare pennies, and online marketplaces are full of listings. However, not every listing price reflects the true market value. The real value depends on rarity, demand, condition, certification, and historical significance. If you believe you have a rare 1983 penny or any other valuable Lincoln penny, the first step is to handle it carefully. Do not clean the coin. Cleaning can reduce its value dramatically. Store it safely in a protective holder. Then have it examined by a reputable coin grading service. Professional authentication adds credibility and often increases the selling price. Many collectors dream of finding a life-changing coin in their pocket change. While it is rare, it is not impossible. History has shown that extraordinary coins have been discovered by ordinary people. That is what makes the Lincoln penny so exciting. It connects everyday life with the possibility of hidden treasure. The story of the Lincoln penny is more than just money. It is a story of American history, craftsmanship, and unexpected fortune. From the wheat design to the memorial and shield, from copper to zinc, from common circulation to rare auction rooms, the Lincoln penny continues to capture attention generation after generation. Imagine finding a small coin that most people overlook, only to discover it could change your financial future. That possibility keeps collectors searching. It keeps auctions competitive. It keeps the market alive. And it keeps channels like Coins bringing you the latest information and insights. Always remember, knowledge is your greatest tool. Learn the key dates. Learn the mint marks. Learn about errors like double dies, off-center strikes, and transitional planchets. Study weight, composition, and condition. The more you know, the better your chances of recognizing something rare. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the rare Lincoln penny and the incredible potential value of special 1983 coins, make sure to stay connected with Coins. There is always another hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. Keep checking your change. Keep learning. And who knows, the next penny you hold might not be just 1 cent. It might be worth a fortune. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in the world of collectors, the rare Lincoln penny, with special focus on the 1988 D Lincoln cent and its current market value. This is a story of history, mystery, rare mint errors, and the exciting possibility of discovering a small copper coin that could be worth far more than 1 cent. The Lincoln penny is one of the most iconic coins ever produced in the United States. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person. Before Lincoln, American coins showed symbolic figures like Lady Liberty. The decision to place Lincoln on the penny changed coin history forever. The design on the front of the coin shows a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, created by Victor David Brenner. His initials VDB can be found on some versions of the coin. Over the years, the reverse side of the Lincoln penny has changed multiple times. From the original wheat ears design from 1909 to 1958, to the Lincoln Memorial design from 1959 to 2008, and later to the shield design starting in 2010. Each change created new varieties and new opportunities for rare and valuable coins. Now let us focus on the 1988 D Lincoln penny. The letter D under the date means it was minted in Denver. In 1988, millions of pennies were produced at the Denver Mint. Most of them are very common and worth only face value. However, some rare varieties and mint errors have made certain 1988 D pennies extremely valuable. One of the most famous varieties is the 1988 D penny with a reverse of 1989 design. This is a rare transitional error. What does that mean? It means the coin was struck using a reverse design that was intended for the following year. The 1988 D reverse of 1989 penny has small design differences that only sharp-eyed collectors can notice. For example, the designer initials FG on the reverse are placed differently compared to the normal 1988 version. This small difference can turn a 1-cent coin into a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In high grades, professionally graded 1988 D reverse of 1989 pennies have sold for significant amounts. Depending on condition, some examples have reached thousands of dollars at auction. Coins graded MS65 or higher by professional grading companies are especially desirable. Condition plays a huge role in value. A worn coin found in circulation might be worth a few dollars if it has the rare reverse. But a flawless uncirculated example can be worth much more. Now let us talk about the big numbers people see online. Sometimes you might see claims that a Lincoln penny is worth $787,976.44. That exact number sounds very specific and exciting. But in reality, values that high are extremely rare and usually connected to unique historical era coins or one-of-a-kind specimens. Most 1988 D pennies will never reach such a high price. However, rare Lincoln pennies in general have sold for hundreds of thousands and even over $1 million in special cases, especially older key dates or major mint errors. For example, the 1943 copper penny is one of the most famous rare coins in American history. In 1943, pennies were supposed to be made of steel due to World War II copper shortages. But a few were mistakenly struck in copper. These coins are worth a fortune today. Some have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. This shows how powerful mint errors can be in the coin market. The coin market today is stronger than ever. Collectors from around the world are searching for rare pennies. Online auctions, coin shows, grading services, and social media have made it easier to buy and sell coins globally. The current market value of a 1988 D Lincoln penny depends entirely on its condition and variety. A regular circulated coin is worth 1 cent. A brilliant uncirculated example might be worth a few dollars. But a rare era variety like the reverse of 1989 can be worth hundreds or more. Grading is very important. Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company are two of the most trusted grading companies. They examine coins carefully and assign a grade based on condition. A coin graded MS67 or MS68 is considered extremely high quality. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Collectors look for sharp details in Lincoln's hair, clean surfaces without scratches, strong luster, and no discoloration. Even small marks can reduce the value significantly. That is why handling coins carefully is important. Always hold coins by the edges and avoid touching the surface. The history of the Lincoln penny is also the history of America itself. These coins passed through the hands of millions of people. They were used during wars, economic crises, and major historical events. Every penny tells a story. When you hold a 1988 D penny, you are holding a piece of history. Some people have found valuable coins in pocket change, old jars, piggy banks, and even inherited collections from grandparents. That is what makes coin collecting exciting. Treasure could be hiding in plain sight. The thrill of discovering a rare variety is what keeps collectors searching. When checking your 1988 D penny, use a magnifying glass or coin loupe. Compare the reverse design carefully with verified images of the reverse of 1989 variety. Look at the FG initials and the shape of certain letters in United States of America. Small details matter. It is also important to understand that the coin market can change. Prices rise and fall depending on demand, rarity, and overall economic conditions. A coin that sells for a high price today may sell for more or less in the future. Always research recent auction results before buying or selling. For new collectors, Lincoln pennies are a great starting point. They are affordable, widely available, and full of interesting varieties. From the famous 1909 SVDB to the 1955 double die, to modern errors like the 1988 D reverse of 1989, there is always something new to learn. If someone claims their 1988 D penny is worth $787,976.44, it is important to verify the information carefully. Look for official auction records and professional grading certificates. The coin world is full of excitement, but also full of exaggeration. Education is your best tool. The world of rare Lincoln pennies continues to grow as more collectors join the hobby. Young collectors are discovering coins through online videos and social media. The passion for coins is spreading globally. The 1988 D Lincoln penny may not be the rarest coin ever made, but certain varieties make it special. Its connection to a transitional design adds mystery and value. And in the right condition, it can be worth far more than face value. So always check your change. Never ignore a penny. What looks ordinary could be extraordinary. A small copper coin could hold history, value, and excitement. Thank you for watching Coins. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the rare Lincoln penny and the 1988 D current market value and history, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more rare coin discoveries, market updates, and hidden treasures that could be worth a lot of money. Keep collecting, keep searching, and remember, every coin has a story. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in the Lincoln Cent series, the 1994 D Lincoln penny. Many people online are claiming huge values, even numbers like $787,976.44, but what is the real story, what is hype, and what is truly possible in today's current market? Stay with me because this is going to open your eyes. The Lincoln penny is one of the most collected coins in American history. First introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, this coin replaced the Indian head cent and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Since then, billions of Lincoln cents have been produced, making them extremely common in circulation. However, within these billions, certain rare varieties, mint errors, and high-grade examples have become incredibly valuable. Now let's talk specifically about the 1994 D Lincoln penny. The D mint mark means this coin was produced at the Denver Mint. In 1994, the Denver Mint struck over 4.7 billion Lincoln cents. Yes, billions. That means the standard 1994 D penny is very common. If you find one in your pocket change today, in circulated condition, it is usually worth only 1 cent. In slightly better uncirculated condition, it may be worth 5 to 25 cents. That is the reality for most examples. So where do the big money stories come from? This is where things get interesting. The real value in coins like the 1994 D Lincoln penny comes from 3 main factors: condition, mint errors, and rare varieties. Condition is extremely important. Coin collectors use a grading scale from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS65 or higher means it is in mint state condition with strong luster and minimal marks. When you reach MS67 or MS68, the coin becomes much harder to find because most coins from circulation have contact marks and imperfections. A 1994 D Lincoln penny graded MS67 read by a professional grading service can sell for $20 to $60 depending on eye appeal. In extremely rare cases, an MS68 red example could sell for several $100s because very few exist at that level. But these are coins that were never circulated and have near-perfect surfaces. Now let's talk about errors. This is where serious money can enter the picture. Error coins happen during the minting process. These include double strikes, off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, and double dies. A genuine double die error can dramatically increase value. If a 1994 D penny had a strong double die on the date or lettering, collectors would pay significant money for it. There are also repunched mint marks in older coins, but by 1994 mint marks were part of the master die, so repunched mint marks are not common for this year. However, dramatic mint errors such as a broad strike, a coin struck on the wrong planchet, or a major off-center strike could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on severity. But let's address the big number being discussed, $787,976.44. There is no verified public auction record of a normal 1994 D Lincoln penny selling for anywhere near that amount. For a Lincoln cent to reach hundreds of thousands of dollars, it would need to be an extremely rare historical issue, such as the 1943 bronze cent or the 1909 SVDB in extraordinary condition. The 1994 D penny simply does not fall into that category under normal circumstances. However, imagine if a unique mint error were discovered, something never seen before, authenticated and graded, and collectors fiercely competed for it. In theory, any coin can reach surprising numbers if it is one of a kind and historically important. But this would be an extraordinary situation, not the standard coin you find in circulation. The composition of the 1994 D Lincoln penny is copper-plated zinc. It weighs 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. Because it is mostly zinc, these coins are more prone to corrosion and damage compared to older solid copper cents minted before 1982. That is why finding one in pristine condition is slightly more challenging than people think. When you are searching for valuable 1994 D pennies, here is what you should look for. First, check the overall condition. Does it have full red original mint luster, or has it turned brown from circulation? Second, inspect the coin under magnification. Look closely at the date and the word Liberty. Check for doubling that is strong and separated, not just machine doubling. Third, weigh the coin. If it weighs significantly more or less than 2.5 grams, it could indicate an error planchet. Fourth, look for off-center strikes or other dramatic visual errors. Another important factor is grading. Raw coins can appear perfect to the naked eye, but professional grading services examine them under magnification and strict standards. Submitting a coin for grading costs money, so it only makes sense if you truly believe it is high grade or a genuine error. The Lincoln cent market remains strong because it is affordable for beginners and exciting for advanced collectors. Even modern pennies can surprise people when they are in top condition. Auction records show that registry set collectors are willing to pay strong premiums for the finest known examples. That is where competition drives prices upward, but it is very important to separate online hype from real market data. Many viral videos and posts exaggerate coin values to attract attention. Always verify sales through major auction houses or professional price guides. Real value is based on confirmed sales, not rumors. The history of the Lincoln penny adds to its appeal. Over the decades, the reverse design changed from wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial in 1959, and later to the Union Shield in 2010. The 1994 D penny features the Lincoln Memorial reverse, a design that ran for 50 years. This long-running design means billions were produced, but collectors still enjoy searching for top-quality examples. If you are building a collection, the 1994 D penny can be part of a complete date and mint set from the Memorial series. While it may not make you a millionaire, completing a full set in high grade can be rewarding and valuable over time. So what is the honest current market value of a 1994 D Lincoln penny today? In circulated condition, 1 cent. In uncirculated condition, typically under $1. In certified high grades like MS-67 red, possibly $20 to $60. In extremely rare MS-68 red, potentially several $100s depending on demand. With a dramatic mint error, values could range from $100 to several $1,000. But not hundreds of thousands under normal verified market conditions. The key message here is knowledge. The more you learn about coins, the better your chances of spotting something special. Every valuable coin started as ordinary pocket change before someone recognized its rarity. If you enjoy discovering the truth behind rare coins, hidden values, and real market insights, make sure you subscribe to Coins. Turn on notifications so you never miss a deep dive into the world of numismatics. Because the next treasure could be sitting in your jar of pennies right now. Keep searching, keep learning, and remember, value comes from rarity, condition, and verified demand. Not just big numbers on the internet. This is Coins, and we will see you in the next video. Today we are diving deep into one of the most talked about coins in American history, the rare Lincoln penny. This is not just a small copper coin. This is a piece of history, a symbol of American heritage, and in some cases, a coin that has sold for hundreds of thousands and even close to $1 million. Stay with me because what you are about to hear might completely change the way you look at every penny in your pocket. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first United States coin to feature a real historical person. Before that, coins only showed symbolic figures like Lady Liberty. The designer Victor David Brenner created the famous portrait of Lincoln that we still see today. Over the decades, the design on the back of the coin has changed, but the face of Lincoln has remained a constant symbol of strength and history. Now here is where things get exciting. While most Lincoln pennies are only worth 1 cent, certain rare dates, mint marks, and errors have turned ordinary pennies into extraordinary treasures. Coins like the 1909 SVDB, the 1914 D, the 1922 No D, the 1931 S, and especially the legendary 1943 bronze penny have reached unbelievable values. One 1943 bronze Lincoln cent sold for more than $700,000 at auction. Another example reportedly approached values close to $800,000 depending on condition and demand. Imagine that, a 1 cent coin worth more than a luxury house. Why are these coins worth so much money? It comes down to rarity, condition, demand, and historical significance. In 1943, pennies were supposed to be made from steel because copper was needed for World War II. However, a few bronze planchets from 1942 were accidentally used. These rare mistakes created one of the most famous error coins in the world. Only a small number exist, which makes collectors willing to pay massive amounts to own one. Now let us talk about the 2008 D Lincoln penny. Many people ask whether modern coins like the 2008 D have any special value. The 2008 D penny was minted in Denver and is part of the modern Lincoln Memorial Series before the design changed in 2009 to celebrate Lincoln's bicentennial. In general circulation condition, a 2008 D penny is usually worth only face value, 1 cent. However, coins in uncirculated mint state condition can sell for a few dollars, especially if they are graded MS-65 or higher. If the coin has a major mint error such as a double die, off-center strike, or dramatic die crack, the value can rise significantly depending on the strength of the error and collector demand. The current market for Lincoln pennies is strong, especially for key dates and high-grade examples. Coin collecting continues to grow, and auction prices for rare pieces have remained impressive. High-quality certified coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC tend to command the highest prices because buyers trust their authenticity and condition. A common penny in poor condition might be worth 1 cent, but the same date in flawless condition could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Condition plays a massive role in value. Collectors use a grading scale from poor all the way to mint state 70. The difference between a circulated coin and a mint state coin can mean the difference between a few cents and thousands of dollars. Luster, strike quality, color, and surface preservation are all critical factors. Red copper coins with full original mint shine are especially desirable. History also adds emotional and financial value. The Lincoln penny has witnessed world wars, economic depressions, technological revolutions, and cultural change. It has passed through billions of hands across generations. Each rare variety tells a unique story. Some were created by accident. Some were minted in small numbers due to economic conditions. Others became rare because people simply did not save them at the time. When we hear numbers like $787,976.43 attached to a penny, it sounds unbelievable. But rare coin auctions have proven again and again that collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts for the right piece. The combination of rarity, demand, certified authenticity, and excellent condition can push prices to astonishing levels. If you are searching your own coins, start by checking the date and mint mark. The mint mark is a small letter under the date. D stands for Denver. S stands for San Francisco. No mint mark usually means Philadelphia for older coins. Research key dates and look for unusual features like doubling on the letters, missing mint marks, or strange metal colors. Never clean your coins because cleaning can destroy their value instantly. The market value of coins changes over time depending on collector demand and economic conditions. Rare coins often perform well during times of economic uncertainty because tangible assets become more attractive. However, it is important to remember that not every old coin is valuable. Knowledge is power in the coin collecting world. The Lincoln penny remains one of the most collected coins on Earth. Its affordability allows beginners to enter the hobby, while its rare varieties create excitement for advanced collectors. From a simple 1-cent coin to an auction record approaching nearly $800,000, the Lincoln penny proves that small things can hold massive value. So next time you receive change at a store, do not ignore those pennies. Take a closer look. That tiny copper coin could hold a story, a piece of history, or maybe even a hidden fortune. This is why coin collecting is not just a hobby. It is a treasure hunt that anyone can join. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the rare Lincoln penny and the 2008 current market value discussion, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications here on Coins. We bring you powerful stories, real market insights, and the secrets behind valuable coins from around the world. Today's video is going to shock you, inspire you, and maybe even change the way you look at the small change in your pocket forever. Because we are talking about one of the most searched, most collected, and most misunderstood coins in American history, the rare Lincoln penny. And especially the 2012 Lincoln penny and its current market value. Most people ignore pennies. They throw them in jars. They leave them in cars. Some people even refuse to pick them up from the ground. But what if I told you that some Lincoln pennies have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars, and a few rare examples have crossed into life-changing money territory? Stay with me, because this is going to be a deep dive into history, minting secrets, rare varieties, and the real truth about market values today. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical person. Before that, U.S. coins showed symbolic figures like Lady Liberty. The design by Victor David Brenner became iconic instantly. On the front, you see the portrait of Abraham Lincoln. On the back, originally, there were 2 wheat stalks, which is why collectors call early versions wheat pennies. From 1909 to 1958, the wheat design dominated. Then in 1959, the Lincoln Memorial replaced the wheat ears on the reverse. That memorial design lasted until 2008. In 2009, the U.S. Mint released 4 special designs to celebrate 200 years of Lincoln's birth. Then in 2010, the shield reverse was introduced, and that is the design we see on the 2012 penny. Now let's focus on the 2012 Lincoln penny. The D mint mark stands for Denver Mint. In 2012, millions of pennies were produced at the Denver Mint. On the surface, it seems like a common coin. But here is where things get interesting. Not all coins are equal. Condition matters. Errors matter. Special varieties matter. A regular circulated 2012 penny in average condition is only worth face value, 1 cent. Even in uncirculated condition, most examples are worth between 10 cents and 50 cents depending on grade. but the story changes when we talk about high-grade certified coins. If a 2012 D Lincoln Shield penny is graded MS67 or higher by a professional grading service, it can sell for anywhere between $50 and $250 depending on market demand. Extremely high-grade examples like MS68 are rare because modern coins often have small imperfections. In elite condition with perfect luster and no visible marks, auction prices can surprise collectors. Now let's talk about errors, because this is where real excitement begins. Mint errors can dramatically increase value. For the 2012 D penny, collectors look for off-center strikes, double die errors, die cracks, clipped planchets, wrong planchet errors, broad strikes. If you find a 2012 D penny struck off-center by 10 to 20% with a visible date, the value could range from $20 to $100. A more dramatic off-center strike can go even higher. A double die error, where the design appears doubled, especially in lettering like Liberty or In God We Trust, can increase value significantly. Depending on strength of doubling and condition, such coins can sell between $100 and several $100s. Now let's address something very important. There are viral claims online that certain Lincoln pennies are worth $787,976 or even more. While it is true that rare Lincoln pennies have sold for extraordinary prices, those are usually ultra-rare historical issues such as the 1943 bronze cent or the 1909 SVDB in pristine condition. The 1943 bronze Lincoln cent is one of the most famous rare coins in U.S. history. In 1943, pennies were supposed to be made of steel due to World War II copper shortages. However, a few bronze planchets were accidentally used. Those rare coins have sold for over $1 million at auction. Another example is the 1955 double die penny. Strong visible doubling makes it highly desirable. High-grade examples can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. So when you hear about a Lincoln penny worth nearly $800,000, understand that those are extremely rare historic minting errors, not regular modern circulation coins. But here is the powerful truth: the coin market changes constantly. Supply and demand drive value. Condition drives value. Certification drives value. The current market for modern Lincoln pennies like the 2012 D is stable but selective. Ordinary circulated pieces remain face value. High-grade certified coins bring premiums. Rare errors bring serious collector interest. Collectors today are focusing heavily on top population registry coins, error varieties, full red uncirculated examples, first strike designation, special mint sets. The color of a copper coin matters. Red coins that retain original mint luster are worth more than brown toned coins. Collectors pay premiums for bright, fully red surfaces. If you think you have a valuable 2012 D penny, here is what you should check. Look closely at the mint mark under the date. Examine lettering for doubling. Check the rim for unusual thickness. Look for cracks or raised lines. Weigh the coin. Standard weight should be about 2.5 grams. Inspect under magnification. Never clean your coin. Cleaning destroys value instantly. Now let's talk about historical appreciation. Over decades, rare Lincoln cents have shown strong growth in value. Key dates like 1909 SVDB, 1914 D, 1922 No D, 1931 S, and 1943 bronze have become legendary. Investors and collectors compete fiercely for top examples. The reason Lincoln cents are so popular is simple. They are affordable to start collecting. They connect to American history. And they offer the thrill of discovering rare varieties in pocket change. Even today, people still search rolls of pennies from banks hoping to find hidden treasures. The 2012 D penny may not be $1 million coin in regular form. But rare high-grade or error examples can absolutely be worth much more than 1 cent. And as time passes, top-quality modern coins often become harder to find because fewer people save them carefully. The coin market in 2026 shows increasing interest in certified modern coins. Younger collectors are entering the hobby. Online auctions have expanded access worldwide. Prices for key rare coins remain strong. Imagine finding a rare double die or wrong planchet error in your change. Imagine sending it for grading and discovering it is one of the finest known examples. That is the excitement of coin collecting. On Coins, we explore history, value, and the hidden potential in everyday currency. Because sometimes the smallest coin can tell the biggest story. Before you spend your next penny, take a second look. Check the date. Check the mint mark. Examine the details. You might just be holding a small piece of history, or maybe even a valuable treasure. If you love rare coins, market updates, and hidden value discoveries, make sure you subscribe to Coins. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update about rare Lincoln pennies, current market values, and unbelievable auction results.